Good morning. Welcome to the Community for Conscious Living weekly live broadcast. Today is Sunday, November 24th of 2024. The Community for Conscious Living is a community dedicated to personal transformation for universal harmony, healing the planet by making inspired changes in ourselves and in our daily lives that create a sustainable environment and a peaceful world. We're doing our inner work to prepare ourselves for living in a sustainable and peaceful world. Living today for the future. Today, our topic is, what is our topic? Our topic is keeping the faith regardless of outcome. And I've been hearing from a lot of people since the election that they are, that they really have trust, they really had faith, they were really hopeful, and things didn't turn out the way that they had hoped. And, it's really easy, and all you got to do is turn on the television. It's really easy to go into the negative spin and say, okay, I really put all my trust and faith in this, and it didn't happen the way I hoped it was going to happen, and now I'm losing hope. Now I'm losing trust. Now I'm losing faith. And all of the negativity that comes in front of our eyes, we just spiral in it and spiral in it. And, we love to be validated. It's part of the human experience, right? We love when we believe in something, we love to be validated. So we're seeing all this negative stuff that's validating. See, we were right. It should have been this way. And that just takes us further down the negative spiral and what's happening with our energy, right? Our energy is going into doom and gloom and hopelessness and all of these fears, right? We're focused on the fears. And if we want to see a future that really does hold what we are here to stand for, we want to keep our vibration high. We want to lift it back up. We want to raise it. We want to find where is the positive in this? How can we position ourselves to where we feel good about what we're standing for, what we're doing, whatever that we want to bring forward? Keep that vibration high, keep that hope, keep that faith, keep that trust. And so that we're lifting our vibration, lifting the vibration of the collective and of the planet. I believe that in everything, and this is one of the things that really catches us in everything, regardless of, and I hate using this terminology, but regardless of what side you are on, because I don't think we should be on sides, but regardless of what and this is just the way it's been presented, right? It's so in your face that you got to pick a side. You got to be on this side or that side. You for us, you against us. That's crazy. But regardless of which side you're on, there is enough truth in each one of us and in each one of them to draw people in. So you're going to be drawn into this truth. You're going to be drawn into this truth. There's enough truth in each one. There's enough playing to the desires, whether it's the fears or the hopes in each one, right? And then once you get hooked enough, there's enough to give you that sense of, okay, are you with us? Are you one of us? Or are you one of them? Because if you're one of us, you're good. If you're one of them, you're bad. And that's where we really get into the dangers. That's where we really get into the danger. So I'm going to invite you to pull back from that. Pull back, stand in your center, align with your truth, call on your highest light, your deepest inner knowing, and say, okay, what if this is true? What if this is true? Where do I stand? How am I going to watch this from an objective position? What am I going to stand for? What am I going to participate in? What am I going to speak about? What am I going to do? Right? What am I going to do with this in a way that will take what you can from it and lift the vibration and stand for what you believe is right and true. And I live in Texas, which I think is one of our scarier places to live right now, honestly. And I am holding this for myself as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and come into our circle. I'm sorry to leave that with that negative line there, but Bismillah. Okay, let's come into our circle, sitting side by side, shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, knee to knee, coming together as one. And just imagine us all in one circle. And just take a minute And if there are any of the, what's the spirits of the people or the souls of the people that are not present here with us today, that you might want to take a moment and just like, their soul can resonate with this. If you want to invite them, right? We can't force them, but we can invite them on this, the soul to soul, spirit to spirit level, and just invite them to join us in this circle here and lend that opportunity to uplift even more of the humanity, right? Why do we focus on humanity? I've been a very strong animal rights activist and, a strong vegan for a very long time. And one of the things that, I feel a little bit of pressure from my animal rights friends to like bring more of the, making this the focus about the animals, about saving the animals. I carry that desire in my vibration, but the reason I don't speak about it as directly is because the human beings are the ones on this planet that were given free will. The animals, the plants, the clouds, the air, the water, the trees, everything, the metals, the minerals, all of it was offered the opportunity, according to the Sufi teachings, to manifest with the free will. But they all said, no, we're cool here. We want to just be in sync with the laws of nature as defined by, that governs the cosmos, right? So everything in creation is aligned with the laws of nature that govern the cosmos as created, as designed to be. The human beings were given the free will, which means we stray outside of that. We're given the role to stray outside of the laws of nature, right? We don't flow in harmony with laws of nature. We have to do that willfully. We get to like test the boundaries and see what happens when we live outside of the laws of nature. And we see the disasters that result from it. Look at just look, right? What we are experiencing is a result of living outside of the laws of nature. And it's compounded and compounded and compounded over time. The animals are perfect except for what we do to them, but we are the ones that do it. So we are the ones that are hurting the planet. We are the ones hurting the animals. We are the ones destroying the earth. We are the ones that are like living so far outside of the laws of nature. We're the ones that need to rein it back in. That's why I focus on the people. So let's come into our meditation and healing circle, sitting side by side, shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, knee to knee, coming together as one, facing the center of the circle, and bring everything you have to face forward, directly forward. And we're calling on our source in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. And just imagine this ball of light, or however you imagine your source, and just, it's in you, it's all around you. There's nothing that is not infused with and reflecting the light of your source. But for this exercise, imagine it directly in front of you. Directly in front of you, and imagine this light. Bring everything to face it. Bring your eyes to face into this light, directly into the light. Bring all of your senses, your nose, your mouth, your ears, everything. Bring your throat center to face directly into the light. Bring your heart center to face directly into the light. Bring your solar plexus center in your hara, your belly space, your sacral center, everything to face directly into the light. All parts of yourself to face directly into the light. And now just imagine, we call on the pure divine light, and imagine this streaming through the top of your head and traveling through your core vertically, so through the top of your head and streaming just halfway front to back and halfway side to side through the very center of your body, moving down through your head space and down through your neck and your throat, and streaming down through your heart space. And breathe deeply with this as it moves, and just really allow the space for it to move through you. It's already there. All you're doing is bringing your focus and attention to it, right? It's already there. But as you bring your focus and attention to it, you feel the intensity of it. You feel the intensification of it. Through your heart center, through your rib cage, through your solar plexus, and through your belly space, through your sacral center, and through your base. And just feel that light streaming and running. Just feel that electricity running along your vertical core, up and down through the core of your body. And as you are facing into this light, you've got it inside of you, running inside of you, and you're facing it directly in front of you. And just breathe. Begin to breathe in harmony and in rhythm with this light. And as you inhale, just let this light penetrate through your body, through your pores, through your skin, through your tissues, through your fluids, through your bones, and all the way into this vertical core. And as you exhale, just relax and surrender to the rhythm of the flow of this light as it moves through your body. And let this light just, if there's anything there that it wants to burn up, that it wants to purify, that it wants to cleanse out of your body, just let it cleanse. Focus all of your attention directly on this light in front of you, breathing with it and breathing it into your body, into this core light that is like the flame inside of you, like the wick of your candle at the very center of your body. And let this light just come and intensify the electricity running along your vertical core, along the wick of your candle. And breathe with it, breathing that light in. And just let yourself open and surrender to it, right? And if you can't, lengthen your spine and upright your spine to where the very crown, the top of your head is being pulled up, right? So rather than your eyes looking up, your head is straight up, being pulled up by the crown, and lengthening that vertical core, and really just align that core so that light flows straight through, and all of your energy centers, they come in through your body and connect in with this vertical core, right? So your energy centers are not just on the surface of your body. Your chakra is not just on the surface in the front of your body, but they go all the way through and connect in with this vertical core. So is that light, as you upright and lengthen, it connects this light through your vertical core and into all of your energy centers, your subtle energy centers. But just let it flow through you. And again, breathing in this light into your vertical core. And as you exhale, just really let yourself rest into this core, relax into this core. And let's take a minute and call to all of the parts of yourself, because at any given moment, we can bring our focus to one part of our bodies, and there's other parts that are dangling out and in and out of our physical space. So let's make a call to all the parts of self and invite them to come in and align in this vertical core. You draw them into the core of yourself. And as you exhale, drop down, land into your pelvic bowl, and just invite them to be there and absorb this light. No judgment, no need to change them, but let them bask in this light. Invite them to just be there and allow the light to move through them. And again, as you inhale, draw all the parts of yourself into your vertical core. And as you exhale, drop down, land into your pelvic bowl. And as you land into your pelvic bowl, that's your center of gravity, right at the center of that pelvic bowl, right? Where the weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. That center of gravity right there, halfway front to back, halfway side to side, in that middle of your pelvic bowl, just a few fingers width lower than your belly button, and then drop that back into the center of your body. Feel, you can engage your abdominal muscles and feel that center of gravity there, that place that when you move from that place, all of your movements become more balanced and easy. They flow more easily, more centered, more grounded. So anchor your consciousness, right? As you draw all the parts of yourself into your core, exhale, drop down, land into your pelvic bowl, anchor. That's like your I am center. And there is that jing energy there, that wellspring of life force energy. So let yourself anchor into that and lean into this vertical core and let the light flow through you. Let it flow through you as you like standing underneath a waterfall and basking in the light. And let's call on the water of unconditional love, the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. We call on you. We ask you to send your essence of your unconditional love and you give some tapping around your heart center to help to relax and open your heart center. You can tap all along the front of your chest. Also, where I find helpful is down the sides of your neck, where all that lymph is, all those lymph nodes, just like really moving that fluids that can get stuck in your upper body. Let's let those fluids have some movement, tap along your heart to kind of relax that guard that we sometimes have over the heart center. And imagine this unconditional love flowing right in front of you like a gentle waterfall. And let your heart center just tip up and catch that flow and let that unconditional love flow in through your heart center. And with your breath, let this heart center be like a breathing portal and breathe in that unconditional love. Breathe that in to flow into your heart center. So finding that center in your vertical core, resting in that vibration of that pure light and receiving that gentle waterfall of unconditional love to flow through your entire core of your body. And as you're standing in that core, in that light beam, let this gentle waterfall of unconditional love flow all over you. And again, as you inhale, draw that in, let your body be like a sponge that absorbs that water in. So that sponge, every cell of that sponge becomes completely saturated, satiated, dripping, overflowing with unconditional love. Let it come into every cell of your body, every pore, all the way into your bones, your bone marrow, your blood, all of your vessels, all of your tissues, and all of the space in between. The interstitium, just let everything be filled and saturated with unconditional love. The divine names for light, Ya Nur, and for love, Ya Wadud. And Ya just means O. And when we invoke with the name Ya, with the O, it helps us to open and receive. Ya Nur, the pure divine light. Ya Wadud, the unconditional love. And let that flow through your body, the core of your body. In our meditations, we don't leave the body, we receive into the body and let the body be changed. Let the vibration of the body be changed, let it be uplifted, let it be aligned with pure divine light and unconditional love. And again, inhale, draw all of your parts of yourself into your vertical core. Exhale, drop down, land into your pelvic bowl. And let's call on our source in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. We call on you. We ask you to send your essence of your eternal compassion. And just let that compassion flow in to you. This is the compassion that is the ocean of living consciousness that we swim in. It is the consciousness that guides the entire existence. All right, let it flow in to you and through you, and let it fill up the space. Like let it flow in, land in your pelvic bowl, and just fill up the whole space of your whole pelvic bowl. Like let's let this bowl be filled with this eternal compassion. eternal compassion. And so the light is flowing through your vertical core. The love is pouring in through your heart and filling the whole space. And this eternal compassion is like the ocean within the core of your body, in the base of your body, holding this whole abdominal cavity, this whole everything, all of your organs there, filled with pure compassion. And as you have mentioned earlier, engaging those abdominal muscles there, just feel that you can kind of like engage and relax with your breath and let that be like a pump. It pumps that compassion up through your spine and your spinal column and this core of light, and to let this compassion be moving through your whole body. Pure divine light, unconditional love, eternal compassion. It's flowing through the whole core of your body. Just let yourself just like open and receive and allow whatever wants to move, allow it to be moved, and anything that wants to be cleansed, to be purified, to be loved and accepted, and to be held and returned, not having to, the parts of us that we cannot love or have not loved, that have felt unloved and not accepted, they separate, right? Those are the separate parts of ourselves. So the parts of yourself that can feel that love and that acceptance and that compassion, just let them return and merge in with the core of who you are, right? And let them just like be absolved into your core, absolved and dissolved, right? Dissolved and absolved. It's like as their mistakes are absolved, they are dissolved into your core and transformed, right? To heal means to make whole. And as they return to the core, they're released from their whatever pictures we've held them in, whatever fears we've held around them. They're released from that to return, dissolve into the core of your being, and to like grow and mature from there to really join you in the wholeness and the fullness of who you are. And just continue to flow with this state. And I want you to invite the parts of you that have been hurting, that feel like you've been let down, like you put your trust, you put your hope, you put your faith into something that you believe is of the highest, that is right, that is the best for the people and the planet and all of the inhabitants of the planet. And you put your trust and you feel like you've been let down, right? Those places, invite those places to also come into this core. And just let those places receive, let them bask in this light and be showered in this unconditional love and contained in this ocean of living consciousness, the pure compassion and acceptance, and let them be held there. And just let them receive. Okay, and when I say receive, this isn't saying that these places in you are giving up their position or their beliefs, but they receive from the pure divine light and the unconditional love and the eternal compassion. Also along or infused within this core is the knowledge, the wisdom, and the truth. So let them receive from this flow of knowledge and wisdom and truth. Let them receive whatever it is that your source wants you to receive into these places, the places that you have held dear, the places that have really aligned with and still do align with your intellect, with your wisdom, with your knowledge, with your desire for the highest, for the greater good. Let that place, let it be fed with even more of this knowledge and light and truth. Let it receive. Let it receive. And if you have a question you want to ask about this, like, okay, where do I go from here? What's next for me? How do I receive this? What are you teaching me about this through this? What is here for me to know and understand? And how would you want me to move with this, to be with this? Let's focus first on receiving. What is it that you want me to know from this, to learn from this, to understand about this? And how would you want me to be with this? And let yourself receive those parts that have felt hurt and felt abandoned, felt let down. Just let them be loved and nurtured. Let them be loved and nurtured and cared for. And invite them to receive, invite them to receive. Receive the love, receive the care, the compassion, and receive. I'm going to stay with this receiving for a minute here. I feel a lot of sadness leaving us, a lot of pain. And just let your breath come into those places. If you feel that, like that sorrow, that sadness, that despair in your heart or in your body, just breathe into those spaces. And as you breathe, that space expands and inhales. Let this light and this love and this compassion and this, like the light of truth, the knowledge, the wisdom, just let that flow into that space. And as you exhale, just blow out the pain. And let that receive, receive, receive. Letting this pain be washed, be loved, be nurtured, be cared for. And letting the despair be washed. Yeah. Wow. It feels like a lot of loss. But just let that be nourished and cared for. And just let that, again, that light, that knowledge, that wisdom, that the truth that exists within the larger divine plan, let that flow in and inform this space. What is true? And what is your place within this truth? Story's not over yet. It's still being written. What's your next paragraph or your next chapter? Your next sentence? It's your next sentence to be written. You're telling yourself a sentence that's painful. Don't put a period at the end of it, put a comma, and then and then. Comma, and then. What is the realization? What is the light? What is the knowledge, the wisdom, the truth? Yeah, there we go. Let that come in and really infuse the light, the knowledge, the wisdom, the truth into your core, into your heart, into your mind, into your body. And let your whole being receive that, receive that, receive that. And just notice as you receive this knowledge and this wisdom, notice the energy shift, right? And that vibration begin to lift again, and actually taking it even higher and higher. As you're infused with this pure divine light, with this wisdom, Ya Hakim, Ya Hakim, Ya Hakim. That's the wisdom. Al-Haq, the truth. Al-Haq, the truth. The wisdom, the truth. Ya Nur, the light. And let your whole being be infused with this light, this truth, this wisdom, the knowledge. Awful. And let your being be infused with this knowledge, with this truth, with this light. Let your whole being take that in. And especially in those places that have, like any place that's feeling that pain, just breathe into that space, let it expand, and let this wisdom, knowledge, light just flow into that space and feed it. And let it lift it, lift it, lift it. And just feel the strength that comes in as this transforms, and feel your vibration and your energy lift. And just see if there is some new perspective that wants to come in for you. You know, I think often about that we never know. It's the saying, tomorrow is never promised. We never know what tomorrow holds. We never know, if something might happen and we have, an accident or something, and we go out the next day. These things happen. When I feel like I don't know if I can make the difference that I want to make in this lifetime, I don't know if I'll see things in the way that I want them to be in this lifetime, I think to myself, where do I want to be aligned? How do I want to be positioned? What do I want to be standing for when I do go out, right? Even if there is still injustice in the world, even if there is turmoil, even if there is so there's a lot of things, right? A lot of things that I would certainly want to stand against, and a lot of things that I want to stand for. So if I were to perish from this earth today or tomorrow, how do I want to be when I go out, right? Where do I want to be when I go out? And that's how I want to live every day. So even if it feels like to you And I hope that this is coming across in the way I intend it to be more encouraging rather than to like take us out of that despair of how can we possibly make a difference in our lifetime? Because something that, if you wrestle with that voice, sometimes I wrestle with that voice. So I hope I'm sharing it sharing it with you from a place of giving hope. I think, okay, I might not make the difference I want to make in this lifetime, but dang it, this is how I'm going out. This is where I want to be. This is how I'm going out. And I'm going out with like standing for what I believe in, speaking in what I believe in, being who I want to be. I feel like aligns with my truth. I still saying I'm not picking a side because I believe there's some truth here, there's some truth here. I can make a decision as to which side I want to represent me in government from this centered place, of course, and still look for where are the opportunities that I have to contribute where I can. So where are the opportunities that you have to contribute from where you are that are going to support the causes that you believe in? If you're like me, I got a big caretaking role and I've got, caretaking for little ones, young ones, and for my father who's 102 years old. It takes a lot of my energy. It's constricted. I used to travel a lot. I saw something I wanted to go be a part of. I just went and did it. I don't have that freedom and haven't had that freedom for several years now. It feels constricting, but darn it, from where I am right now, I'm going to do what I can do and say what I believe in and try to help from where I can in the moment. So that's why I share that with you. Encourage you if you're in a place where you feel like you can't influence and can't do the things you really want to do to have the influence you want to have. Do what you can from where you are. Think about that. The lights go out today, tomorrow. Where do you want to be? Who do you want to be? Where do you want to stand? What can you do from here? Who do you want to be and where do you want to be? What do you want to be and what can you do from here? And again, just stand in that place of you can draw all the parts of yourself into your core as you inhale. Exhale, drop into your pelvic bowl. Feel that core light coming through your vertical core, through the top of your head, filling your whole core, receiving that unconditional love, resting in that ocean of compassion, letting that compassion travel up and down your spine, in your spinal column, and through your brain, and through the core of your body, just letting that whole core infused with pure divine light, unconditional love, eternal compassion, and letting that knowledge, wisdom, light, truth, let that flow through the core of your body, informing you. And inhale all the parts of yourself into that vertical core to rest there and be showered with this light, this love, this compassion, the wisdom, the knowledge, the truth. Just let all of you be showered with this and open all of the parts of yourself to receive, and just witness. Witness what's the information that's coming in, what is the guidance, what is the direction that's coming in for you, and how can you let yourself be transformed. Because this transformation we can't do from the mind. It is a vibrational shift, right? Let the vibration shift as you are informed on the vibrational level. Everything begins as energy, subtle energy, right? The mind is not what changes things. The subtle energy changes. And the role of the mind is to be in service to the heart and to the body, the wisdom of the heart and the needs of the body and the wisdom intelligence of the body. So it's let the mind be the witness and Let the mind agree to serve the knowledge and the wisdom that comes in and the truth, and help you to move into the role that you're here to hold and to serve and to do, to be and to be and to do. And let your being say yes to this, right? Just feel, again, inhale, draw all of your energy into your vertical core. Exhale, drop down into your pelvic bowl. Engage those abdominal muscles and feel your energy body and the totality of your energy body really anchored into your pelvic center, your pelvic bowl, anchored into that center of gravity there. Feel that strength as it moves up your spine from that wellspring of life force energy right there at the vertical core. I mean, in the center of your pelvic bowl. Let that move up your spine and fill you with strength, and feel it physically in your body, filling your spinal column, filling your core. And stand in this strength. If you want, you can stand up, stand in that Wonder Woman or Superman stance. Hands on your hips, feet hip width apart, and feeling that yourself anchored into your center of gravity, the center of your pelvic bowl, leaning into your spine, being that light, that love, that compassion. It's like intensified along your vertical core, right? And keep your head where it's being pulled up by the top of your crown, right? Rather than looking up into the sky, like let your head be pulled up by the crown and that light coming down through your core, filling your entire being, and feel that it's like the filament of a light bulb. The more electricity that runs along that center filament, the more intense that light gets. The brighter it will shine, the farther that light will travel, but the electricity stays along the center vertical core, along the center filament. And feel the strength mounting in your body. Feel the certainty and the confidence anchoring into your core. Kun fayakun, be and it is. Be and it is. Be and it is. Excuse me. We're feeling that anchored in the core of your body. Remember how we said comma and then. What is that for you? And now. You can even make that comma and now. What is that line for you? Say that out loud to yourself. Comma and now. And now what's your role? Now I am enlivened and strengthened and informed with this knowledge and wisdom. And now I stand and now I am here too. You want to grab a pen and paper and write this down. Really helps to anchor it in when you write it down. So it moves the insights through your body, puts them on paper where your eyes can see them again. Transfer that knowledge into your brain from your cranial nerves and through your central nervous system. And now, so go ahead, I'm going to give a minute here for you to write down. Where do you stand now? And now I stand. And now I am. And now I know. And now I do. And feel the strength. Kun vaya kun. Be and it is. And take a minute and make a commitment to yourself. I commit to. And this commitment is to yourself and to your source, or however best suits your beliefs. Kun vaya kun. Be and it is. I want to tell a story that about a lesson from my teacher. I studied with a spiritual teacher for almost 20 years, for about 20 years, before he passed away in 2015. And he was a master healer, teacher, guide in the Chateliya Sufi order. And at one point, he got, I believe it was prostate cancer. And because he was such an amazing healer, and we'd seen him heal people, or the healing move through him to heal people, we thought, well, of course, he'll heal this. It's, but elder men get prostate cancer. My dad has that. And, so we thought, well, certainly he'll just heal it. And he had books on natural remedies of just using foods for healing. And, so we just thought, okay, he'll do it in the natural way. But he came to the United States and he went through a traditional in our U.S. Medical system, and he used a combination, and he also advised several of our people who had cancer to use the combination of the Western medicine and the spiritual healing and the natural medicine of the healing with foods, to use the combination to do the healing. And when I kind of look at the word I don't like to use, the sides, sometimes I think of it as like, okay, they're two kind of like opposite extremes of how to move forward to make the world a better place. Though even so, there is some overlap, I will say, but it's kind of like, how can we, like, as one side is getting the attention and moving forward, hold the pole of the other side, right? So if you think of, like, all right, for those who did chemotherapy and radiation treatment for the cancer, also doing the holistic, the natural, the, and the spiritual at the same time, so that they work together to create the complete healing. Like, so when I kind of think of what's going on in the world, it's like, okay, can we hold it as, what does the chemotherapy and the radiation do? It destroys, it kills the bad cells. Can we, like, whichever side you're on, be very intentional about, is it like not destroying the good with the bad and using the holistic and the spiritual to really boost the immune system, to boost the vitality and the good, so that both are working together. Like, don't abandon whatever you're whatever role you're here to be and to fulfill. Don't abandon it, but like see how and envision how the two can work together to create the complete healing in the universal body. So take a minute and just see if there's a way where you can envision that and look at what is your role in it, right? Are you the healing medicine that comes from the plant life? Are you the spiritual medicine? Are you the chemotherapy? Are you the radiation? Like, what's your role in bringing about the complete healing for the universal body? And commit to your role for the highest good of the entire body, for the highest good, the greater good of the entire body for all. I'll stress in that there is nothing that is yeah, to be generalized as bad, especially when it comes to people, when it comes to animals, when it comes to like the laws of nature. Remember, we are the ones that stray from the laws of nature. So perhaps as we're looking at the greater good and what is really for the greater good, because again, I recognize there's very different opinions about what is for the greater good of the universal body. Think of the laws of nature. The laws of nature apply to all life. I know racism and classism and everything else has been very much at the uh, forefront of our conversations. And this all the isms. Isms are classifications, broad classifications. The laws of nature apply to every living being. And as Ibn Arabi says, everything is alive, even that which you think is inanimate. The laws of nature that govern the cosmos, from the broadest, the big universal soul and universal body, all the way down to the atom and the molecules, the atoms, protons and electrons, neutrons, all of that are governed by the same cosmic laws of nature. Our goal is to live according to the laws of nature willfully, to use our will to live according to the laws of nature for the greater good for all. To when in doubt, recognize that there is no human being, no animal, no anything on this planet that is not infused by the light of your source and reflecting the light of your source, and here to live according to and is governed by the laws of nature that govern everything in the cosmos. And we are too, which is why when we stray far from it, we cause sickness and illness in our bodies and sickness and illness on the earth. We got to bring it back in. Bring it back in for the greater good of all, of every living being on the planet and the planet herself and her environment. And only you, because I believe everybody has a role to play here. If you just really hold that center pole, again, feel that light, that love, that compassion flowing through the core of your being, and To let that wisdom and knowledge and strength flow through you and tell you what is your place, what is your role, what role do you play in the healing of our planet for the greater good of all. And be, kun fayakun, be and it is, be and it is, be and it is. And oh yeah, we were going to talk about trust. So let yourself, again, as you commit, just really anchor into your trust, that positive belief, positive expectancy of the greater good, like the divine plan for the greater good will prevail and is prevailing as we live and breathe. All right. And with that, I'm going to wrap up and open for Q&A. If you're listening to the recording, you're invited to join us live on Sundays at 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern, 7 a.m. U.S. Pacific. Find information for joining us live at communityforconsciousliving.com, communityforconsciousliving.com. While you're there, sign up to receive the reminders and replays. And when you do, you receive 2 free gifts. One is a one-sheet, 10 spiritual principles of our human existence, who and what we are, why we're here, what this world is about, what this earth journey is about. And the other one is a 15-minute downloadable guided meditation that I hope you'll use as a part of your daily practice to infuse into your conscious body that pure divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion that is the core of who and what you are. With that, I thank you very much. I love you. I'll see you next week. And if you're here, stay on. We're opening for Q&A.